Hi everyone, this is going to be a Q&A and I'm reading your guys' comments that you have left on my YouTube channel. And I make braid content. I'm a hair braider. I've been braiding for about 7 years and I'm going to be going over your guys' comments. So let's get into it. How long do braids last? Now, the braids will vary depending on what style you have, and also it depends on how you keep the hair, how you maintain the hair. So the most popular braid style I do is usually the 2 braids with extensions. Now that usually lasts around a week. This definitely depends on the person, how well they keep the hair. So how to maintain the hair, you have to put your hair in like some silky bonnet, a do-rag, something that's silky, and you want to make sure you wrap around your hair and so it's safe while you're sleeping, because when you go to sleep, that's going to cause a lot of friction and frizziness, and you just do not want that. So you want to make sure that you protect your hairstyle while you sleep, and you want to make sure you're always you're not doing crazy activities. That's going to also make sure that your hair is looking good and sleek. And if you need to put any products such as some of pomade, gel, or hairspray to maintain the styles, to get rid of any of the frizziness, I will do a video on how to maintain braids. So be on the lookout for a video like that soon. And but yeah, just depending on the style. So that 2 braids is usually a week. If there's more braids, the longer it will last. So let's say 4 to 6 braids, that's going to be a good 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how well you keep the braids. And then if you get box braids, notice how many braids that is. You can keep it for a month, 2 months, literally, again, as long as you make sure you're maintaining the style, you're keeping it, you're making sure you're taking care of the hair, and that's how long the styles can last. Hello, how many grams of hair did you use per 1 braid? So in this particular comment, it's talking about the 2 braids. Again, you're going to hear that a lot. The 2 braids are the most popular style, so I'll be referring to that, and I'll change it up if I think it's something else. So for 1 braid, depending on the style, you have to kind of look at the client or whoever you're braiding. Do they have a lot of hair? Okay, if they have a lot of hair, then you're going to put less hair. If they have a lot of hair, you can also ask them, do you want the color to really pop up, to really show? And if they say, yes, I want the color to be visible, then you're going to put a lot more hair because they have a lot of hair. Now, someone like me, I don't have that much hair, so I could put more hair and it wouldn't be so, it would be just easier to show the pop of color. Let's say you're doing pink and you're putting it onto my hair. You don't have to put so much compared to someone that has a lot of hair already. And then you can also let them know if they do have a lot of hair, hey, I just want to let you know, if we do put more hair, it's going to be much more heavier. The more hair you put, the more heavier it's going to be. Now, the more hair you put, the color is going to show more. So let's say they're going to a festival or they're in a sports event, they want the color to really pop out. You need to understand that the more color, it might be heavier for them, especially if it's a little kid. You don't want to put so much hair on their head. Or that also depends. Do they even want to? Can they handle that? So it definitely depends on the person. So you kind of have to eyeball it, see, and if they want to put more or less, you can, what I like to do, especially the people that they have no idea how much to put. I'll be okay, I'm going to start adding some of the hair. Let me know if this is good. If this is too much, let me know. I'll take some out. If this is too little, I'll put more hair in. As you're going about braiding, you can keep asking the client, how do you feel? Does this look good? And then that way you can catch it on that moment as you're braiding. And then if they do want more hair, you can easily add that in while the forming braid is forming. versus you're done with the style and they're like, I don't really like this. This is like too small. Can you put more? And then you have to be like, oh my God, you have to like take out everything. And that's like a hassle in itself. So the best thing is to always ask, see how they feel, and go from there. What is the board you have to hang the hair on? What is a board you have to hang the hair on? Oh, so the board I have, they're talking about this little braid rack. So you can search this up on Amazon. You can look in the description down below. I'll go ahead and link it. I just type in like on Amazon braid rack for hair braiding, of course. And a lot of these will pop out. So you can get the wooden one, and I feel like that's a nice, easy, basic braid rack. Technically, this is actually for sewing, but because there's so many hair braiders that are using this to separate the hair, that's what you'll just type in braid rack, and then it will definitely pop up. Is it possible to wash the hair, and how? Honestly, you want my honest opinion? I always tell my clients, I always recommend don't get the braids wet. Now, depending on the style, if you have box braids, that's a whole different ballgame. Box braids are so much more easier to like maintain because of how many braids there are versus, let's say you get the 2 braids or 4 braids, like the bigger braids that are on the scalp, like cornrows. You want to be very careful because that gets messed up so much more easier. And sometimes from the pool, sometimes from the ocean, it could create a smell. And you just do not want to get those braids wet like that. Now, if you have box braids, because you have so much braids and they last so much better versus regular braids, you can literally go swimming and then you can go take a shower and like just make sure you're like washing it on the scalp. Okay, get the soap, just wash it on the scalp area. You don't need to put condition, just let it rinse and then let it air dry. You don't need to blow dry it. Honestly, it creates frizz. It'll be too complicated, just don't even get into it. Just let it air dry, and it takes forever to air dry. If you get out of the shower, you can literally grab your hair and then get the towel and squeeze all that hair out, okay? Go on the other side, squeeze, like get the, like as if this is a sponge, you're gonna squeeze it all out just for like the braids or even the regular braids. I tell this to people, like don't go get it wet. Some people are just still go, especially like the little ones, they'll still go swimming with the braids. It is what it is, and if you're gonna do it, just make sure you're just going to the scalp. Focus on the scalp area, and you want to just get all through the scalp, just the shampoo. And then when you come out of the shower, same thing, squeeze all of the water out, and it's gonna take a while for it to dry. Just warning you right now. So do you see all of the complications that could possibly happen when you get the hair wet? So I always recommend to my clients, don't get it wet unless you get 4 to 6 braids, because that will last 2 to 3 weeks, right? So for those styles, you can go ahead and just, you know, maybe once a week, go ahead and wash your hair. But the way I told you, go ahead, get in there with the scalp, with the shampoo, let it rinse, make sure it's like you got all the shampoo out of the hair. And then when you step out of the shower, towel, and then come out and then let it air dry from there. Okay, so that's what you can do if you do end up going swimming with the braids and you want to wash the hair. Again, I don't recommend it. I always recommend try not to do it. But each style is different and each case is different depending on what you want to do. So anyways, moving on. I could not find the hair metal rack on Amazon. Do you have the link? Awesome video, by the way. Can you show a tutorial on how not to get? This person is talking about this braid rack, but the metal one that I have, so let me take that. Talking about this metal braid rack. You'll see this on a lot of my YouTube videos. I love this so much because it's metal, obviously. But this one was literally like customized for me. I told my dad to literally weld this together. I had bought these two on Amazon and then welded it together. And the reason why I did that was because the wood racks literally break so easily. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. This one I really love, but depending on the house call, because these are kind of a little bit on the heavier side. But when I travel, because I do a lot of house calls, or a lot of the times I'll go out and do events, the wood racks, they will tend to break a lot of times. So it's kind of annoying. While this bad boy is all metal and they don't break. Now, I am looking to put this on the website soon, and then I can make some products of this. If you guys are interested, please comment down below if you guys would like to purchase one of these, and I will work on that and put this on my website if you guys really want to. So let me know. Don't be shy. Let me know. Hi, where do you buy the hair braiding extensions? I have a whole video of where I buy my hair, what do I look for vendors, because I buy everything wholesale, and I usually get it from different sources depending on the color, depending on what I need. Sorry about this. But if you need something quick, especially if you're a beginner, you can always go to the beauty supply store. Most of them are like black beauty supply stores, so if you can look for something like that, so you can get braid hair extensions. If you go to the regular beauty supply store like Sally's Beauty, most likely you're not going to come across those braid hair extensions and like the cool, all the colors that you see behind me. So if you do need to go to a black beauty supply store, they'll have a lot of options there. If not, you can always go on Amazon, and Amazon will have different colors, and you can just type in on Amazon braid hair extension blue or whatever, and then you can like order it from there. I will also put that on my description down below. You guys can go ahead and check out the different extensions. I'll have even like all the supplies that I use for hair braiding if you guys are interested in that. Oh my god. Just to let you know, that's not a crochet hook, it's a latch kit hook. Dude, I got so many comments on this on my video. Now, I make a lot of these braided hair ties, you guys can see from like behind me. And for some reason, everybody had a problem with me calling it crochet hook. Let me go ahead. This bad boy, okay? You people had a problem with me calling this crochet hook, and y'all were saying latch hook. To me, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the name. The point is the value of the video, okay? Crochet hook, latch hook, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Just like the same thing with people are having a problem with like the two braids, right? I say two braids with extension. People are saying two feet in braids. Some people say the Dutch braid. Some people are saying French braid, even though I do distinct them differently because it's like a whole different method while braiding. And some people call it the boxer braids. People are calling it this, that. It's just like, doesn't even matter as long as you understand where I'm coming from, and it's about the value of the video. And if you guys are gonna get upset with something like this, it's so silly. I'm sorry, but I had to say it. All right. Great video, thank you. Have subscribed. Just wondering, do you have any tips on the best way to transport these without damaging them? So she's specifically talking about these braided hair ties. Now, because of the bubbles on these, let me go ahead and bring that. So because of the bubbles, they tend to get really frizzy, and if you don't have something to protect them in, it just will get messed up, especially like the bubble part because they're so sensitive. So the best way, in my opinion, is you can put this in a silk bag, something silky, so that the hair doesn't get damaged. And you can put this in a silky bag, silky pillowcase, and these are gonna be well kept. whenever you want to go ahead and use them again, you can take them out and you can go ahead and brush it from the bottom to the top. Just hold the braids and then brush it like that. And you could do it for the hair that's left alone, not the braided side, because you can't really brush that. So anything silky, that would be perfect. I know when I do my shipments, I will put it in a tissue paper, and then I'll put it in my box to send off to people who buy these from my website. I sell these. I put a lot of love into these. If you guys want to check that out, everylittle.strand.com. And I'm very prideful of these because I put so much time and care into these bad boys, and it just makes me really happy that you guys find it really fun and you want to put it on your hair as well. So try that, see if that works for you, but I can almost guarantee you'll be fine. It's just like for how do you take care of the regular braids on your head? Like let's say you go get it braided. Same thing, you need to put a silky bonnet, something silky like a do-rag. That is all silky, so that way your hair is not going to get messed up. So same thing with these extensions. Where do you find the good quality hair and how much? I made a set, but the hair was frizzy and fell out. It was a beautiful set in the end, but still frizzy. So like I said before, you can go ahead and buy these on the beauty supply store. You can go ahead and buy them on Amazon. You can go ahead and buy them at a wholesaler website. I have a whole video, again, I can link it down below, of where I buy my braid hair extensions so you guys can figure it out. But it seems like you did buy some hair, but it still came out frizzy. When you are braiding those braided hair extensions and you start to see that it's getting frizzy, you can go ahead and put a little bit of pomade on your fingers, just like that, and you can put it on the strand, brush it, and then go ahead and start braiding. That way the braids are going to come out really nice and clean and there will be no frizz if you want to do that. I normally don't do that for my hair extensions. I just go like full on commando, no product on these extensions. But if you are struggling, you can put a little bit on your hands and then like put it on the strand that you're working on and then braid it, and then that will get rid of the frizz. How much do they cost if I prefer to buy them already made? I think you meant to say made, but basically I charge for these braided hair ties $95. And why I charge $95 is because it takes me 4 hours to do these braided hair ties. I put a lot of love and I put a lot of care into these braided hair ties. There are many people who sell these. Now you can find something that is super cheap, like 20 bucks, even less, 30 bucks. I don't know, you can find a lot of these types of things on Etsy, but I will say they ain't gonna be like mine. And I put a, like I said, it looks good, it looks clean. A lot of these that I put, and you can even get it customized on my website. So that's how much I charge, and I charge even more depending if it's customized. People have paid me, and it's super cute because then I can match it to their hair color or whatever outfit they want for a festival or whatever the occasion is. So that's how much I charge. You don't have to charge that much. If you are trying to sell these, you can do cheaper. Again, I put a lot of love into this. I put a lot of care, detail, and that's why I charge what I charge. How do you actually use it after making these? They're talking again for the braided hair ties. How do you actually put these on? Which I got so many comments, but I have videos of me putting these on. So basically you can do different styles. You can go ahead and put your hair into buns. If you have longer hair, because I'm just saying that because I have shorter hair and I feel like it doesn't look that cute when you braid it or like put it down and then have those. So what you could do is put into buns and then tie it at the top. I will link down a video of me putting on these extension different styles, and so you guys can see that because I got a lot of comments on how to put these on. So I will be making more videos on how to put them on and me making them, putting them on, so that question won't be like another comment on those videos. But if you want to see different styles, let me know. No way to do this with hair down. Same thing, they're talking about the braided hair ties. You honestly can be super creative with these things, but no, you cannot leave your hair down unless you just take some of it, put it into pigtails, leave the rest of your hair down, and then you can tie them so most of your hair is down. But technically, no, you do need some of it to tie it with the hair tie. Now, instead of the braided hair ties, I will make a video of, instead of putting the hair ties, we can put like clips on these braids so that you can have your hair down and then you can have the clips, boop, boop, and then you can have the extension. So stay tuned for that. Love the video, subscribed. What product are you using for your waterline? I'm not sure what you mean by waterline, but all of the products that I use for the braids, I usually use pomade. I'm going to show you guys some of the products that I like to use. So I use this one. I don't know if you guys can see it. I love this pomade. It's so good. Yeah, I use a lot of different types of pomades. I use this one. This one's another good one too. It's more softer versus this one has a more thicker consistency, but they're both pretty thick. I will say you can definitely use gel, but it doesn't last that long. The gel consistency is super watery versus this one is thick. Like a lot of men use this for their hair to get that thick like hair up. Now this is specifically for hair braiding, but it is same concept. It has like a thick consistency and the braids will last so much longer. There's no frizziness, there is no flyaways, so I love this one. And also Shine and Jam is really good too. Now I will say it's more, I don't know, I like the consistency on this one way better versus the Shine and Jam. But it kind of depends on you. You kind of have to see what works for you, what you like on your hair, what you like on your clients' hairs. Get some feedback and then see which product works best for you. Does the hair tingle if you dip it in, I think you're trying to say dip it in apple cider vinegar, or they put it directly on the head after braiding? So this comment is talking about when you have itchy hair. I made a video where I said if you guys do have itchy hair, because a lot of this hair, actually all of this hair is synthetic, okay? So plastic on the hair, sometimes it can create itchiness and like irritation, and if it is bothering you a lot, so if the hair is bothering you a lot, you can go ahead and dip it in apple cider vinegar and it will stop the itching because it will take out those chemicals that are in the synthetic hair. It literally is amazing, and you can literally put the hair extension before putting it on the client and dip it in hair water. Now she's saying, is it going to tangle up? Most likely, if you just get the hair and you dip it in the apple cider vinegar, it definitely will get tangled up. So you have to like mentally prepare yourself for this. So take it out. You can dip it leave it in there for a little bit, take it out, and then you can go ahead and brush it, let it air dry. But yeah, if you have the braids already on you, you can just go ahead and spray some apple cider vinegar. You can dip it into a bucket, and then in the shower you can go ahead and rinse it in your hair. This is the only time I'll ever say for it to be wet, okay, if it is bothering you, because that's more important so that you can survive with the style. Great video, thanks for sharing your experience and knowledge. Do you have any recommendations for packing, braiding hair ties that get shipped out or that a client doesn't wear out of the store? Also recommendations for care and storage. Thanks in advance. So this is similar comment to the other one. And basically, like I said, as long as you put these braided hair extensions into a silky bag, silky pillowcase, something silky to preserve the hair, you'll be fine. If you are trying to sell it, you can go ahead and wrap these into a tissue paper, like how I was telling you, and then put it in the box, and then that way it'll be good to go. You can put it into plastic wraps, or plastic wrap, you know, where you buy the hair, it already comes into that. You can do that as well, but for the long run, the best way to go about it is having a silky bag. So you had 400-gram bundles. You use half for one side of braids and the other half on the other side of braids, or only half for both set together. Sorry, I just want to be sure before I buy some bundles to try. So this person is talking about the 2 braids. How much hair am I putting? Like I said, this depends on the hairstyle. You can go ahead and put whichever works. Now, normally I will put like 1.5 to 2 packs of hair extensions on my client, but that will change depending on what the client wants, how much hair they want, if they don't want that much on their head. So all of that will vary. Where did you buy the braids that you used in the first style? Or if you made them, can you explain, make a video? I love how they came out. So they're talking about the bubble braided hair extensions. And obviously I made these and I'm selling this on my website. So if you want to go ahead and buy it from there, you can. But you can find it at other places like Etsy, I'm sure, or I'm sure if you search it up like festival hair ties, you can find something that works along your budget. But that is what I do. So I make these. And I do have many videos of how I make these bubble braided hair ties. So go ahead and click on my channel and you can see different videos of me making these and putting these on. How many strands do you use per braid? Man, you guys love to ask this question. I think I'm gonna have to make a video of this strand on the braids because I know this is a very common question. So like I said, it depends. And also this depends on these braided hair ties, how many strands to put. It is all up to you. If you want to put more, the more hair will cover your head. So if you're gonna I put like a good 5-6 strands on these, on each, and I make 2 of these braided hair extension ties. So check that out, see what works for you. If you want to put more hair extension, you can, but just know the more you put, the heavier it's gonna be. Do you have to keep adding strands because it makes the braids thick? And my daughter is begging for this, but with her tiny head and sleeping, smaller braids would be better. I completely agree. If you're braiding a child's hair, you don't want to put so much on their hair, especially if they're so small. So do little, and so that they can feel like they have a little color on their hair. But in my opinion, don't put so much hair on the little ones. And the more hair, the more the color will show. Any advice for someone who has bangs and wants to exclude them from their braids? I've watched an embarrassment of braiding videos and this is hands down the very best, but I'm still struggling to get the braids tight when the starting point is after the bangs. Thanks. So I should make a video if that's something that you guys would like to see, but basically if you want to leave some bangs out and still want to go ahead and braid, you could totally do that, just like this, leave some out. So instead, what normally I'll tell people is they will start from the very top and work on a triangle section and then braid from there. I'm talking specifically about the 2 braids. Or you can do it with how many braids you want. So you can start from the very top, but you can leave this and then you can start the braid from the top from there. So as long as you leave the bangs out, so it kind of shapes your face, because not everybody's gonna look good with everything out of their face, right? So you kind of have to like see what works for your client, but you can literally start from this side from the top. And I know maybe it might be difficult to do it on yourself. So if that is the case, you can go ahead and get a little clip it out of the way, and then you can start from there just to get a good starting point. And then once you get towards the bottom, you can unclip the hair so you can see it better. But you're gonna do the same concept where you're still starting more back and still getting that a little triangle section and then braiding from there. Hi, what is the inch length on the hair packaging from this tutorial? Sorry if you did mention it somewhere. When I clicked on your hair link, it says 24 inches, which seems really short. My niece wants this and she has very long hair. Just want to make sure I get long enough hair. So I got a lot of comments similar to this of the hair extensions. I sell these hair extensions and they're 24 inches. Most of the hair that I buy are 24 inches. Now, if you want to, because you want to make it longer, buy the 24 inches and you can go ahead and make the braids still long with that hair extensions. And you're probably wondering, like, how am I going to do that? It's only 24 inches. It'll stop at a certain point. No, you can still braid with long. You can still make it long. You can even make it touch someone's butt, or like touch it, make it touch the floor. You can go endless with the extensions, okay? And how you do that is, when you're braiding, you can go ahead and keep adding hair extensions all throughout the head. And then the key is, once you get towards the bottom, then you can start adding more to the bottom of their hair. So therefore, the extension is going to be much more longer. So you don't have to worry necessarily about the length, even though the basic is 24 inches and it's just a good hair length, unless you want shorter than that. But the key is to add it towards the bottom of the style, so that way the braids are going to be super long. So that's how you get to do it, and I think I have a video talking about that. So if you do want another one, go ahead and comment down below. I love to hear your guys' comments. I need some type of communication, what you guys are struggling with, so then we can go ahead and do more of these Q&As that you guys can figure out, okay, like, I'm struggling with this. Let's see if she's gonna answer me. And then I can help you guys with like struggles, whatever you want. Also, I do braiding classes as well. So if you guys really wanna learn how to braid and you feel like these tutorials are not helping, you can go ahead and just message me. Go on my email, everylittlestran@gmail.com. Email me and say, hey, I would like to learn how to braid, but I do Zooms too. Like, if you're far away, I'm located in Los Angeles. So if you guys wanted to, if you're around the area, you can go ahead. We can do a one-on-one session. That's how I learned personally. And it was life-changing, okay? It was the best thing ever because the person was able to correct me while I was like doing the braids, and now at like right on the spot, and I was videotaping myself too, so I can always look back. And for a good month I was practicing, and then I was able to do clients. So if that is the case, you can go ahead and email me or DM me on Instagram and ask me, hey, I would like to like learn about classes, and I do Zoom classes online. So feel free and ask me there, because I do coaching. So let me know. Anyways, guys, I hope you found this video super helpful, and I would love to hear your guys' comments down below. Subscribe to this little channel that is slowly growing, and I will make more content soon. If you guys have more questions, please comment down below and we'll make another Q&A video with your guys' comments. All right, have a blessed day, everyone. Bye.